So the Chinese are on the moon, realizing a long-held dream and becoming the third lunar power after America and Russia. The probe Chang'e 3 made the first soft landing in nearly 4 decades to roll out a rover, Jade Rabbit, that will explore for 3 months. Chinese pride has soared with the success. In 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first American to walk on the moon, and only Americans have repeated the feat. The Russians then sent a rover to explore the surface in 1976. Since then, nothing has gone to our nearest neighbor. The Chinese have come a long way in a short time and won't stop here. By 2025, they want to walk on the moon too, among other things. China's ambitious space program began in the 1960s, but has only really taken off in the last 20 years, in parallel with the economic boom. The challenges are not only economic. Apart from international prestige, national patriotism is bolstered by these proud exploits. In 10 years, from 2003's first man in space to 2008's first space walk, China has overtaken its pace-setting Asian rival Japan and newer entrant South Korea. The Shenzhou program has reaped rich rewards. It's created a new breed of heroes for the People's Republic, and now manned flights are the norm and increasingly the priority as China bids to have an operational full-time space station by 2020. Last June, 3 taikonauts, including the first Chinese woman in space, spent 15 days in orbit, a vital stage before placing station modules into the right spot. Billions of euros are being spent as China seeks to conquer space, prove it is a true superpower, and break the monopoly certain nations thought would go unchallenged for years. However, critics warn the effort is mostly about finding ways to deny enemies the use of their orbital assets if conflict should break out, and not so much about exploration or science.
I'm joined by Carl Bergqvist from the European Space Agency. Carl, you're in charge of ESA's relations with the Chinese. What kind of help did ESA offer them?
Well, we have with the Chinese space authorities a mutual cross-support agreement. So we have been actually involved in the Chang'e 1 and Chang'e 2 and now also for the Chang'e 3, providing support through our ground-based network. We have ground stations in Spain and in Australia, and also in French Guiana, in South America, and also once the lander landed on the moon, what we did was a triangulation using the station in Australia and in Cebreros in Spain, making a triangle in order to determine exactly where the lander was on the moon surface.
Tell me, how's the mission going at the moment? Have there been any last-minute problems?
No, I think everything has been going on very well, and I know that when the lander landed on the moon's surface, we had some Chinese teams at our control center in Darmstadt in Germany, and they even had a little party in order to celebrate that everything had gone on exactly as planned.
Why did the Chinese turn to the European Space Agency for help? Why not NASA or the Russian Space Agency?
Well, first of all, I think that our operations center in Germany is really one of the world-leading centers when it comes to operation and tracking of satellites. And the second thing is that we have a very long-standing relations with the Chinese. So I think that will also be another reason for coming to ESA to ask for help and for cooperation.
Now let's talk about the moon. The last time anyone managed a soft landing on the moon was the Soviet Union in 1976. Why go back there? What's the interest for China?
Well, I think, of course, the moon is, there's a lot of symbols around going to the moon, and I'm sure that there is a political side. Landing on the moon is an important impact. The second objective is, of course, the technological objective, being able to soft land on the moon, rolling out the rover, getting the scientific instruments to perform. That is a great technological achievement. And then the third thing is the scientific exploration of the moon.
Carl Bergqvist, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.